Hey, what's up, everybody? Samuel here, and I am excited to talk to you about a topic that I know is something I'm dealing with on a constant basis, and I know many of us are, and it's the area of temptation. How do you fight it? Do you sometimes ever feel like fighting temptation feels a little bit like a losing battle sometimes? Well, let me talk a little bit about a verse that I feel like really helps give some insight, because I think sometimes feel like we're losing this battle because I think we're going about the fight a little bit wrong. Let me talk to you in 2 Timothy chapter 2. Paul's talking here. He says in verse 22, flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart. So let me just kind of talk about that for a second. The basic concept here is that I think a lot of times we're losing the battle to temptation because actually we're often fighting something God never called us to fight. See, there are things that the Bible does teach us to fight, talks about spiritual warfare and different things like that. But when it comes to temptation, the Bible actually says to flee it, not to try to fight it. For example, if you got some type of, lust or temptation in that area, you don't go to a strip club to try to fight temptation. You stay away from that place, right? But a lot of times we're trying to muscle our way into staying strong against temptation. But the Bible says, flee those desires, run from them. Even Joseph, if you remember his story, he's getting temptation. What did he do? He ran out of the house. He ran from that situation. And I think a lot of times we can have a challenge with that as Christians because we feel like, well, if I'm a Christian, if I got God with me, shouldn't I be able to just fight this? Shouldn't I be just stronger than it? But the Bible says to flee it, run from it, get out of the place as fast as you possibly can and avoid the temptation altogether. Actually, that's one of the best and safest ways, best guaranteed ways to stay away from temptation is to just avoid the situation altogether. I wrote even a little bit more extensively on this on my blog. Check it out about how to fight against temptation. But I just wanted to highlight a couple things as well. So first is that we actually need to flee it. Run from it. Avoid the situations. Get out of the place where you could end up getting yourself tempted. A lot of times we have patterns. I know for me, you're up late at night, killing time, you're tired, you got your phone out, you're scrolling, you're hitting Instagram, hitting the socials. And how many know, some dumb spam accounts following you, trying to like stuff, trying to comment, trying to slide into the DMs and mess with you. Well, you know what? I found my best way, instead of trying to fight that, my best way is just, not be using my phone at late at night, not be putting myself in a situation where I can get hit up that way and have to fight it. Instead, my best fighting stance is actually to avoid it altogether. Here's the other thing is, as you know there, he says to not only flee this stuff, but also to pursue God, pursue righteousness, along with those who call on the name of the Lord. A lot of times, part of the reason why we lose the fight to temptation is because we're trying to do it on our own. Okay, listen, you're not alone. You are not alone. Hey, if you're feeling like you're experiencing temptation and it's constantly in your face, join the club. It's a human reality, but we don't have to keep losing the fight. We don't have to keep getting taken out constantly. And one of the best ways that we can do that is by getting around the right group of people, getting some people in our world that we can get honest with, that we can have help us. The Bible talks about how iron sharpens iron, right? It's like we need each other. Don't try to just stand up against this stuff that you're facing all by yourself. Get honest. Get in a great church that's going to love you, support you, come alongside you. And here's the good news. Even if you feel like you're keep falling to temptation, even if you feel like you're just deep in addiction of some kind, there's hope in Jesus. You don't have to stay that way. You don't have to live the rest of your life all caught up and tripped up in addictions and brokenness. I'm telling you what, you can be free. You can find freedom, and you just need to flee it. And you get around the right people that can help you stand strong and help you build new habits, new ways of thinking, different ways of of seeing that situation or that habit or that temptation, and help you to be able to find victory in these different areas of your life. Okay? Praying with you. Listen, there's hope. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're being tempted with, you can find victory.